Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. And in this episode of Cooking with Plant-Based Meats, we are going to make an absolutely delicious chorizo breakfast burrito. Chorizo and egg breakfast burrito using a plant-based chorizo. Now again, why are we cooking with plant-based meats? First, they taste great. They've really come a long way, and you can find plant-based beef, pork, chicken, and even fish that taste pretty good in all sorts of different recipes. You won't even notice the substitution for animal-based meats. The other thing we're doing it for is, for some of us, we need to get some of the animal-based meat out of our diets. And this is one way to do it, working with these plant-based meats. Another reason we're doing it is because it's good for the environment. It takes a lot more fossil fuels, which release global warming gases into the atmosphere, to produce animal-based meats than it does plant-based meats. So it's a win for everybody when we add some plant-based meats into our diets. So come on, let's cook. And here are the ingredients for our plant-based chorizo and egg breakfast burritos. Now the first thing we're going to use is a cup of this delicious plant-based chorizo. And these plant-based meats have come a long ways. I never guessed that saving the planet from climate change and global warming could be so tasty, but it is. And you just try out different brands until you find the one that works for you. The next thing we're going to use is 3 eggs. We're going to use a quarter cup of minced onion, less than a quarter cup of minced pepper. If you have red pepper, orange pepper, green pepper, that's just fine. We're going to use a half a cup of minced cilantro. And we're going to use this in a garnish we're going to make, which will taste absolutely delicious on these breakfast burritos. We're also going to use some flour tortillas and the hot sauce of your choice. If you want to add that to it, that's totally up to you. But this is going to be really tasty. So let me show you how to put it all together. Okay, so let's get our veggies ready first. The first thing I want to do is make that cilantro relish that I was telling you about. It's just a garnish. And I rinsed off the cilantro, and I'm just going to give it a fine mincing. You don't have to be too fancy with it. Again, this is going to go on top of our chorizo and egg breakfast burritos. So that should be enough. Cilantro. I really love cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you don't have to make this garnish at all. It's totally up to you. But this is very tasty on it. So we're just going to put that in there. Okay. And then what we'll do is we take our sweet onion. Now, I don't waste food, so that's why in my different shows you are going to see, and I do have over 225 episodes, you are going to see my onions look like this because they get reused from episode to episode. Earlier today, this was in an episode on how to make plant-based beef bolognese, and you do want to check out that recipe. Oh, it is delicious. So what we do is we just take the onion, just cut these fine lines in the top of it. Make these lines really close together, and don't go too deep into the onion. Only go as deep as you think you'll need that much onion for whatever you're making. And then I'm just going to go perpendicular, basically cutting little squares in the top. And this will give us a nice minced onion. And then I'm just going to cut down the face of the onion. And this will give us a nice little pile of minced onion for our recipe. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take some of this and put it in with the cilantro. Oops, a piece of paper got in. And just stir it up. And you can add more onion if you want. You can vary the ratio of ingredients. In fact, I think I do want to add, I'm just going to add all of this onion to it. I'm in the mood for some tasty veggies. Okay, so again, just stir it, get it nice and even. And if you don't like cilantro, you can do this with, you can make that with just onion, just top it with onion. And then I need some cilantro to cook the chorizo with, chorizo and eggs. We're going to saute up the onion and some pepper. I think I said cilantro. Onion and some pepper first, and then we'll add that cilantro crumble and scramble it with the eggs. And it'll be very tasty. And we're also sneaking some additional vegetables into our diet, which is always fun. And I do a lot of that with the recipes on Step by Step Chef. So I'm just making the onion that we'll use in the cilantro mix. Just finely mince those, put them into this bowl. Maybe pick out that big piece of cilantro. Okay. And then we just need, like I said, under a quarter cup of pepper. And this pepper has been rinsed off. And make sure that when you're working with the pepper, you don't add seeds or core to the dish. No one wants to eat seeds. Okay. And then we'll just cut this into little slivers so that we can mince it. Okay. And then just do this to it. This adds a nice peppery taste to it, and nice texture and a freshness. I love adding veggies to everything I make because it comes out so much fresher. Okay. And now I'm going to meet you over at the stove. And to make our flour tortillas, we just want to warm them up. So I have this So to make our flour tortillas, we just want to warm them up. So I have this small frying pan preheating just below quarter heat. And all you do is you put the tortillas in there, and I'm putting 2 in, and you just use your tongs and you occasionally flip it. You don't want to brown it, you don't want to crisp it, you just want to warm them up. You can also do it in your microwave if you want. Just put it in for 15 seconds to half a minute, and they should warm up terrifically. So that's that part. And over here I have my frying pan preheated over quarter heat. I'm just coating the bottom of the pan with a teaspoon of butter. What we'll do is we'll add our onions and peppers. We're just going to saute these. Oops, another piece of cilantro fell in. Boy, it's getting around. It's like it's fall. It's falling into everything. We're going to saute these until the onions start to appear clear. And then we'll add our chorizo. And we'll give that a little bit of a browning. And do that according to the instructions on the package of the chorizo that you buy. They're all a little different in the way they have to be handled. And it's not typically the exact same way you would handle animal-based chorizo meat. So you really need to read the back of those packages. I can see the onion is sauteing nicely. It's starting to turn translucent. And now we're just going to add our chorizo crumble. Ooh, it smells delicious. Just move this over. There we go. And we'll just brown that according to the instructions on the container. Now, mine does call for a little bit of water to be added to it. I want to hold off because I'm adding eggs and they have a lot of liquid in them themselves. So I'm just going to hold off, brown this a little bit, and then decide if it needs some moisture added to it. So this should take about 5 minutes to relax out, so I'll be right back. Okay, now 5 minutes later, the chorizo's looking nice and brown. The onions look nicely cooked with the peppers. I cracked the eggs into this bowl and gave them a good scramble. I did that here because I don't want the shell to end up in this dish. So if you have an extra bowl sitting around, then give your eggs a good scramble that way. And now we're just going to pour this right in and scramble all the ingredients together. Oh, that's going to taste good. And I have been turning those flour tortillas to make sure that they don't brown or get all crispy. And you can change the ratio of any of the ingredients for this. I like this chorizo. I like it nice and chorizo tasting. But if you want more egg, add less chorizo. If you want more chorizo, then just throw it in. You can always crack another egg into it. There's many ways that you can adjust this recipe. But this is the way I like it when I'm cooking with the plant-based chorizo. And I did not add water to the chorizo as it said on the package. And I'm glad I didn't, because the chorizo is getting plenty of moisture from the eggs themselves. And I just don't want it to be all muddy. So I'm just scrambling this, letting it dry out. And when it's nice and dry and crumbly, that's when it'll be ready to serve. And you can see that's happening pretty fast. Oh yeah, that's going to be a delicious breakfast burrito. Yeah, that's looking good. I can see the egg is all dry. The chorizo's drying out nicely, so it's not all muddy. You don't want this to be a mucky dish. You want it to be nice and dry. Oh yeah, that'll do it. I'm taking that off the heat. Okay, so here is one of our soft tortillas, nice and warmed up. I'm just going to add some of the egg mixture to it. Yeah, and you can add salt. You can add salt at this point. Give it a little taste. See if you want to add some. Some of the chorizos can be salty themselves, so be careful doing that. And then we'll add some of our cilantro and onion to it. Oh, that's going to be tasty. And you know, people could add, I guess, some cheese to it if they wanted to. I really don't think this needs cheese, but you can. You could also heat up some refried beans and put a little strip of that right there. I like these very basic, and this is it. That is what you get. And then you just do that kind of burrito fold over. I kind of stuffed it too much, which I always do. You know, and just do kind of a fold over with it, and you got a tasty plant-based chorizo and egg burrito. So congratulations, look at what you just did. You just made this delicious plant-based chorizo and egg breakfast burrito. Now I did add some hot sauce while I was walking over here, while I was walking across the set, and that's going to make this extra delicious. So if you like this recipe, please go to my website, stepbystepchef.com. There you will find a printable version of this recipe and free video links for over 125 recipes. Some are plant-based, some are animal-based, some are completely vegetarian. So it's totally up to you, but there are tons of recipes there waiting for you. I'm waiting there for you too. I'm waiting there for you over 225 times. So it's just you, me, working together through these recipes, and they are absolutely delicious. So I hope you will check out the site. Especially check out these plant-based recipes, because I think you will be surprised at how tasty saving the planet can be. So again, I am Larry Richardson. I'm your step-by-step chef, and I'll see you in the next episode.